Story right now getting international attention. The disappearance of a University of Pittsburgh student while on spring break in the Dominican Republic. And this morning, investigators are turning their attention to a St. Cloud State student. We're now learning investigators believe the SCSU student was the last known person with her before she vanished.
Audrey Russo joins us now with new details about the investigation. Audrey.
Yeah, Jason, Alicia, here's what I can tell you about that student right now after we reached out to St. Cloud State. Joshua Reeby is a senior. He's from Iowa, and police believe he could hold the missing link in their search. Reports from different media outlets on the ground from the last 12 hours show investigators really focused on searching the ocean for Sudiksha Konanki. Now, Konanki was last spotted on her resort's surveillance video on March 6th. You can see she's walking towards the beach with a group that includes 22-year-old Reeby. Now, authorities from Konanki's home state of Virginia say Reeby was not part of her travel group. Investigators say her friends returned to the hotel while Konanki stayed with Reeby. He's spotted on surveillance footage hours later without her. Now, Dominican police say he's a person of interest in the case, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily a suspect. Officials believe Reeby might have been the last person to see her.
So at this point, this is a missing person case, not a criminal investigation into him.
Yeah, that's right. Authorities say that they found Konanki's clothes on the beach, but there wasn't any sign of foul play. Today, by the way, marks 1 week since she was last seen.
Lots of questions here. Hopefully they can find her.
Hopefully they can get some answers too.
Heartbreaking stuff. All right, Audrey, thank you. In less than 3 hours, the alleged mastermind of Feeding Our Future fraud scheme, Amy Bach, will take the stand for a third day in federal court in Minneapolis. Cross-examination expected to start today. Here's what we've learned in the last 24 hours. Bach testified that she wasn't involved in the fraud and answered her attorney's questions about various investigations she says that she conducted after discovering potential fraud at meal sites sponsored by her nonprofit. Bach told the jury that she terminated 50 meal sites in response. The judge says that she wanted to wrap up the trial by tomorrow, but with more questioning and closing arguments, that seems increasingly unlikely.
6:07 here on your Thursday. Let's take a live look at the U.S. Futures Board right now. The NASDAQ and S&P 500 and Dow all in the red this morning. And it comes just 6 hours after another batch of Canadian tariffs on U.S. imports kicked in. Now, this round will impact just under $30 billion in U.S. goods, including steel and aluminum products, computer tech, and water heaters, as well as sports equipment. This comes 1 day after President Trump's 25% tariff on imported steel and aluminum went into effect. In a matter of hours, G7 leaders are meeting in Canada to discuss tariffs and Trump's shift on foreign policy.
If you live in Minneapolis, you're going to want to hear this story. In about 5 hours, people living at several buildings owned by Investment Property Group will be fighting alleged eviction threats. Starting at 11, they're planning to bring attention to what they are calling terrible living conditions and will march to the landlord's office to deliver a list of demands. In the last hour, we've reached out to IPG for a statement. Once they get back to us, we'll update you right away.